7 Biggest Unanswered Questions and Mysteries After the Chicago PD Season 12 Finale. The Chicago PD Season 12 finale didn't exactly end on a game-changing cliffhanger that will leave fans desperate to know what happens next, but the episode still poses many questions that go unanswered. Thankfully, NBC has renewed Chicago PD for Season 13, meaning answers are on their way. Until its premiere, though, we'll just have to ponder every mystery the Season 12 finale left unsolved and theorize what's to come for the intelligence unit in the NBC police procedural series. In Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 22, Vows, the situation with Reed came to a head. The deputy chief of the Chicago Police Department fired Burgess and Torres during the previous hour and effectively disbanded the intelligence unit, which snapped Voight into action in the finale. Voight resorted to his old ways and orchestrated Reed's murder. Consequently, Burgess and Torres got their jobs back, and intelligence was reunited. The finale then ended with Burgess and Ruzek, finally, getting married. Now, fans must wait until Season 13 to learn what's next for the characters. Throughout the majority of Chicago PD's run, Voight's love life has been essentially non-existent. Romance just hasn't been a priority for him. That is, until Chapman, an assistant state attorney, entered the picture. Unfortunately, it seems like even the romantic relationship between Voight and Chapman is headed nowhere after the events of the Season 12 finale, leaving fans wondering what the One Chicago universe has in store for them in Season 13. Earlier in the season, Chapman told Voight she had feelings for him. Voight was thrown off by the confession and largely ignored that it ever happened. It was something he hadn't considered, and it just made his life all the more complicated. However, in the Chicago PD Season 12 finale, Voight might have ruined his chances of ever being with Chapman. Chapman tried hard to reel Voight back from the edge and prevent him from reverting to his old ways when dealing with his Reed situation. Unfortunately for her, no one could stop him. The Chicago PD Season 12 finale ended with Chapman insisting that this isn't who Voight is, that he once believed there could be more. Voight explained that he doesn't get more, though. According to showrunner Gwen Siggins' post-mortem interview with TV Line, Chapman realized in that moment that there could never be anything more between her and Voight. As Siggins said, it's almost like a breakup for Chapman, meaning where she and Voight go from here is up in the air. Voight has had many close calls before, but has rarely been fully caught and sent to prison for his crimes in the One Chicago universe. That could change in Season 13, though. Voight's arrest might be unlikely, but Chapman knows the truth about Reed's murder, and others are probably suspicious about how convenient his death is for the sergeant. Voight should face some ramifications for his involvement in Reed's death in the Chicago PD Season 12 finale. He can't just move on without it weighing on his shoulders. It should drive his arc in Season 13. Only time will tell if that story involves legal troubles, or if Voight's problems will be strictly personal as he reconciles with the man he is and didn't directly tell the other members of the intelligence unit that he planned Reed's death in Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 22. Some, if not all of them, know. They have worked with Voight long enough, at least Burgess, Ruzek, and Atwater have, to know when something is up. While they seemingly turned a blind eye to suspicions concerning Voight's involvement in Reed's murder in Vows, perhaps that will change in Season 13. Some characters won't be able to ignore it, especially the newer ones, likely causing some tension in intelligence. Now that Reed is gone, someone must take his place in Chicago PD Season 13. The Chicago Police Department's deputy chief seat is open, and hopefully the next person who fills it doesn't give the intelligence unit as much trouble as Reed did. Or they could be much worse than Sean Hattosey's Chicago PD Season 12 character, which is a terrifying thought. Reed's replacement serving as the next villain of the One Chicago TV show would be repetitive, though, so the next deputy chief could either be a non-factor, aka their identity isn't important to the upcoming story, or an ally to Voight and co. Perhaps a familiar, friendly face will succeed Reed as the deputy chief in Chicago PD Season 13, which would be rather exciting. The intelligence unit could use some help within the Chicago Police Department after all. In the wake of the events of the Chicago PD Season 12 finale, The door remains open for possible character returns in Season 13. However, one former intelligence unit member's return is even more possible after the cancellation of FBI International. Jess Lee Soffer, who played Halstead in the first 10 seasons of the NBC police procedural series, starred in the FBI spin-off. Now that it's over, the actor's schedule is seemingly open to reprise his Chicago PD role in Season 13. Of course, neither NBC nor Soffer has offered up any teases that would point towards Halstead's return. The finale didn't hint at it either. A lot of time until the Chicago PD Season 13 premiere still remains, though. It's wholly possible that Halstead could appear in upcoming episodes, or that even his ex-wife, Upton, could also return. Reed was a great villain in Chicago PD Season 12, but now that he's dead, it's time for the NBC police procedural series to move on to a different antagonist. Season 13 will contain smaller villains who are limited to case of the week storylines. However, it should also feature a big bad. In a similar vein to Reed or Edwin Stillwell, Denny Woods, or Catherine Brennan, a new villain must step up to the plate to serve as the intelligence unit's next adversary in Chicago PD Season 13. Unfortunately, they will directly follow Reed's reign of terror, and he was an excellent antagonist, so they have big shoes to fill in the one Chicago show. It has been 12 seasons of ups and downs for Burgess and Ruzick in Chicago PD, but now that they're married, their lives should get less complicated, right? Well, probably not. Even though they love each other very much, conflict and drama always seem to find their way into Burgess and Ruzick's relationship. However, with them getting married in the Season 12 finale, the writers will have to think of something creative to add tension to the couple's next arc. Or maybe I'm wrong and Burgess and Ruzick will remain in the honeymoon phase in Chicago PD Season 13. Enjoy Screen Rant's primetime coverage. Click below to sign up for our weekly Network TV newsletter. Make sure to check Network TV in your preferences and get the inside scoop from actors and showrunners on your favorite series.